Larry Kudlow is a skeptic on the gas tax. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Good morning to you. That was a strong letter emphasizing how clean American energy is when compared to countries and companies around the world. Why do you not like this federal gas tax suspension?
Well, I don't like it because it's just a couple of months. I mean, I'm all for tax cuts. In fact, to mitigate the Fed's tightening and to mitigate the fight against inflation, I think they should make the Trump tax cuts across the board permanent. That's my view. And they should deregulate the whole economy, most especially energy, as my friend Mike Wirth of Chevron suggested, but also all business. I mean, the Bidens are running a war against fossil fuels and a war against energy and a war against business. OK, and therefore they're running a war against consumers and motorists. And so the inflation rate is around 10%, and they could really help with a permanent tax cut, okay, lower marginal tax rates on the supply side. Look, the gasoline tax, you're going to get 18 cents if it's all passed along. I don't know that it will be, but, you know, it's about a 3 or 4% cut. It's going to defund the Highway Trust Fund, which is already shaky, probably costs it, I don't know, $15 or $20 billion. That could damage infrastructure. That could damage road safety. So I'm just saying, you know, really? Is this the best you guys can come up with?
And also, when you say it's temporary, they would then, I guess, have to reinstate it in September, just weeks before the midterm elections. That seems unlikely. It also seems unlikely to pass Congress. The other thing is, you worked in the White House in the last presidency. The president is inviting the oil CEOs to the White House tomorrow, but has pointedly said he won't meet with them. He's going to leave that to staff. How is that a presidential leadership way to handle a situation when in 2 weeks he's going to fly halfway around the world to meet with the Saudis and ask them to increase oil and gas production?
Yeah, well, it's a good point, Dana. Look, you know, this is strictly junior varsity or freshman team stuff. It's an insult to the oil guys. You know, you look at that Mike Wirth letter and the Darren Woods letter from Exxon, too. I mean, those guys would like to be partners. I mean, Trump, for example, in the Trump White House, whatever you think of Donald Trump's tweeting and all the rest of it, the fact is he would meet with everybody, whether they liked him or not, across the board at industry, okay? Something like this, Trump would sit down and try to hammer out some understandings instead of just sitting there and vilifying the oil people. So you're right, it's a terrible idea. He's choosing the Saudis over the U.S. You know, two more things on this. That thing's going to cost him money, Dana, 15 or 20 billion dollars, all right? I don't know the exact figure because I don't know the exact parameters yet of this federal gas suspension. But you're going to see lefties in Congress and probably the White House call for an excess profits tax on the oil companies and the refiners. You wait and see. They're going to say, well, we are going to give the consumers this, and so we have to cover the Highway Trust Fund. Let's take it out of the hides of the fossil fuel industry, which is what they always say. You wait. That's coming. I don't think it's going to pass. I agree with your assessment. I think I heard you say that's not going to get through Congress. None of this stuff's going to get through Congress, frankly, nor should it. But the bigger issue, you know, how about this? Rick Perry said this to us, I don't know, a month ago on our show. He said, instead of having envoys to the Middle East or having envoys to Venezuela or having envoys to Iran, how about a special envoy to Midland, Texas, to sit down and conduct diplomacy with the American oil and gas industry, which I might add is by far the best in the world, creates millions of jobs, saves people money if the administration would let them. Call off the war against the American energy industry.
Not going to happen, Larry. Not going to happen with this team.
You think? You think? I keep waiting for them. Look, we all know the Fed is tightening, and they're going to keep on tightening. This is just really the beginning of that story. We're either in the front end of a recession or we're in a recession, okay? The outlook for the economy is not good. We know that, too. The stock market's telling you, again, I think this morning. The point I'm making is, why not some pro-growth measures, okay? As I say, go back to the successful Trump tax cuts. Or if they have a better idea, lower marginal tax rates on individuals, small businesses, and so forth. Give consumers a break. Deregulate. Government controls and all this statist regulation stuff, modern-day socialism, this stuff's not working. If it were working, it would have already worked. That's their problem. So coming up with a temporary 18 cents national gas tax, leave that stuff to the states, for heaven's sakes.
It'll get attention for a day, and we'll cover it later today when the president comes out here on Fox.
Good to see you, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks for coming on.